Hey guys, welcome back to the Bayside Fabrication YouTube channel. Pretty frustrated right now because I just spent probably 3 or 4 hours filming and I lost it all because the SD card got corrupted. So, just to recap what I'm doing, today I'm putting on a angle kit. So these are E36 control arms. This is my E36 control arm bushing. This is my eBay angle kit. Amazon, eBay, whatever. This gives you, relocates the tie rod end. And yeah, let me just show you a couple things. I'm just gonna do a quick recap because I really am kind of in a rush to get this done because I gotta get out of here. But essentially what we're doing here, here's the stock E36 control arm. Here's the E46 control arm. Now, I measured it before, but I'll kind of give a slight little recap. This distance here and this distance here, this E46 is almost an inch longer than the E36 control arm. This is actually 7/8 of an inch longer, which is approximately, I don't know, 23 millimeters wider than the E36. So that's gonna push out our wheel, which will enable us to turn a little more. So the other thing we're doing here, I can't believe I lost all that footage. Super bummed, man. That's one of those deals where it's really frustrating. But anyways, so what we're doing is we now have to take this hexagon control arm bushing here and make it round for it to fit the control arm bushing. Now they make these in the hexagon that fit E46. The right way to do would just be to purchase that control arm bushing and it'll fit this no problem and you shouldn't have any issues. But what I'm doing, because we're on a budget, is I am making my own. Now this one's already halfway done. I just need to do a little more. Oh boy, this one's really tight on there, but that's good. That's what we want. So I'll show you on the next one how we're doing this. But as you can see, we now have a round stud for the control arm bushing. I'm gonna get this one finished up here and we'll go over it on the next one. So essentially what we're doing is, yeah, we're just pushing out this whole assembly almost an inch, and that angle kit will relocate this tie rod here. Now we'll have to readjust the tie rod length. We're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. But this is a budget angle kit, okay? I got these E46 control arms for free, more or less. And I'm just using what I have. These were $38, I believe. So those are no big deal as far as you know, cost. So I mean, this whole deal is gonna be well under $100 setup. So that's what we're doing right now. All right, so let me show you what we need to do to modify these E46 control arms to fit the E36 slash E30 style control arm bushings. So I had to, and what we're gonna do is just mark this here. And I'll actually give you guys a measurement. I'll go right about there. So what you need to do is to take off approximately 2¼ inches. So let me show you how this looks finished. You gotta take off 2¼ inches from the end of the stock one, but let me show you what I'm doing. I'm actually using a hole saw and I am going right over this, and I'll show you that right now. And what you need to do for this hole saw at least is you need to trim this edge back, or else it bottoms out in the hole saw. You'll see what I mean in 2 seconds. So what I'm gonna do is just pre-cut this one here. Let's just get an idea. approximately right there, which works out to be, well, let's call it 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm doing is lopping off 3/8 of an inch off the edge of the end of that, and then let me show you how I make this hexagon into a round piece. Now I said the hex bushings would work, but I'm not sure if they will, because I'm having to go quite farther in, at least with these solid bushings. Other bushings might be a different deal here, but at least with these, this is what I'm having to do. Guys, I cannot express to you how angry I am about losing all that footage. I've done all this already, and I had all sorts of good shots and stuff of the stock angle and everything, but of course I've taken it all apart now. I'm not going to put it back on. So unfortunately, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. These things happen. Okay, so this is what I'm doing to take this hexagon and make it round. Hole saw, hexagon. Damn, dead batteries everywhere. But you can see this is how it's going to work. And then we're going to take an angle grinder and just kind of smooth it out, because this is still a little too large of a diameter for our stock control arm or our aftermarket control arm bushing. But let me get a new battery in this thing and we'll keep plugging away at it. So we're just shaking off a little bit here. What we're doing here is just squaring off that edge. So we're gonna get our bushing and test fit it and see if it goes on. All right, so we just kind of got this squared away here with the file, just kind of fine tuning it. Now, there you go, guys. That's how you fit a hexagon peg in a round hole. All right. Well, the hard part's pretty much done here. I'm gonna tighten those up by hand. Now, one thing I am noticing, let me show you, is these sway bar end lengths here. See the hole for that, and see where it wants to live is right here. So I think what I can get away with doing is flipping this to the inside. I don't think it will contact here, but we're gonna see. So let me pull that sway bar end link off. You know, you can also do just an adjustable style sway bar like I have in my E30 that just goes to this mount here on the shock, instead of connecting to the control arm. But we'll see if that works that way. If not, I'm gonna have to just figure out something else. So just to recap, this is a 1-inch hole saw. So if you are doing this, you'll need a 1-inch hole saw. And then you're gonna have to mill it down, not mill it down, but grind it down by hand, just a couple rounds. I mean, it might fit actually with the 1-inch just hole saw, but it'll be really tight squeezed depending on what kind of bushing you're using. Now for the sway bar end lengths, these are kind of cooked, so I'll probably get new ones at some point, but they will fit on the inside of the sway bar. But we just need to open up this hole here. Of course, this bit is smoked. Let me sharpen this. All right, let's try this again. Much better. So now, The other sway bars interfering with this one going down, but now you can see it's really tight squeeze on the inside, but it'll clear. So that's all that really matters. So we're gonna just do that to the other side, and then we will mount our angle bracket. All right, so here's how it looks. A little wonky, but suck it right up in. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works and it clears everything. So that's all that really matters here. Okay, so now let's get our little angle kit installed. All right, so I've never installed one of these before, but it seems pretty self-explanatory here. So this is our piece, and it comes with these conical, almost like lug nuts. So I'm going to reasonably assume this one goes here. This goes there with another nut, and then our tie rod end. All right guys, it's the next day. I called it quits yesterday because I had some babysitting to do for my wife and a friend of ours. So I had a 1-year-old and a 6-month-old. That was interesting. But this is where we left off yesterday. So I was just having a little issues with getting the strut on. I was like, what the hell's going on? And it turned out I had to notch out a bunch down here, and it actually looks like I can cut some more off. So that's just with these coilovers. These are just cheapos. But yeah, I did have to notch that. So that is something that you might have to do or might not, depending on your coilover setup. Today, I ordered new inner and outer tie rods. From all the research I've done, well, you can see these are freaking blasted out too. All the research I've done, you can run E90 inners, E36 outers. So those will be in about an hour at the local auto parts store. So that's what we're gonna do there. And that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna button her up, and I'm gonna get both sides even. We're gonna see how it goes here. But I just gotta grind that out a little more because I still am contacting the strut tube there. So that's something I didn't really expect to have to deal with, but not a problem. We can make it happen. All right guys, emergency situation here. A K24 just showed up at the local LKQ out of a TSX. So I'm going to try to grab that right now. It just showed up like 10 minutes ago on their website. So I'm hoping I can be the first to get my hands on it, but we'll see how it goes when we get there. But if it does, that's very exciting because I think the motors, complete motors, are like only 350 bucks or something. So we'll see what we can do. Guys, I just can't help myself with the old Junkyard here. 6-piston and 4-piston Brembos. Yesterday, I got a K24 A2 Honda motor. That I still don't have no idea what I'm gonna do with either of these, but I'm addicted. I mean, it's not a losing proposition, so that's all that matters, right? Making money. So actually, Jeremy rented the Showtime tonight. So Cooper's here, Emilio's here, Jeremy obviously, and a bunch of other guys. We're all going over there and gonna rip tonight. I don't know what's going on. So I got some drift crappy tires. I didn't have time to mount. I had another set of tires here, but I got these that I can blow off. And then I might do a couple rips down the drag strip with my drag radials here. So we're kind of hustling here. It's the last minute, so if I forget stuff, feel free to ask questions in the comments, but I think we're pretty good. So all we're doing is E90 inners, E36 outers, and that's going to give us exactly what we need for adjustability. All right, guys, I was supposed to be at the track like half an hour ago because that's where everybody is, drifting and having fun. Whoever online said E90 inner tie rods are what you want is absolutely 100% wrong, at least for my application. So I had a whole ordeal. Long story short, I wound up reusing E36 inner tie rods, E36 outer tie rods. Everything's awesome. So we're going to the track now. Cute little guy. All right, guys. I know you know I've been addicted to the Junkyard recently. I think this is the best deal I've gotten so far. It's not the craziest deal ever, but it was 400 bucks as you see it. So all accessories, came out of an automatic 2004 TSX. So yeah, this is the K24 you want. So I'm just gonna clean it up right now, a little super clean, and just kind of give it a visual overall, check it out kind of deal. But 400 bucks, you can't beat it. I have no plans for this. Same with these Brembos I just picked up. These massive Brembo 6 pistons. I have zero plans for any of this stuff. I just picked it up because it's a good deal, and I'm gonna kind of probably hoard some good parts, and then, like, for example, if I see any more of these come up, I'll probably just pick them up and flip them. Not sure about the motor because they're only like 800 bucks, maybe 1,000 fully dressed, maybe. So I don't know if it's worth the work. It took me 2.5, 3 hours to pull this out, and I almost died because it was so freaking hot out. So not sure if the motors are really worth it, but either way, it's cool. So now I gotta think of a project we can put it in.